Hello everybody, some would say I'm the Reverse, and welcome to my ranking of all Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 4 episodes from the worst to the best. The first episode of Season 7 just came out. I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it after I catch up. So yeah, I'll be doing this for Seasons 5 and 6, but let's get into this. In last place, we have Season 4, Episode 5, titled Mercy Mission. We have a C-3PO and R2-D2 episode. They go to the planet Alina, I believe it is. The only redeeming quality is that the creatures on this planet, like the people, are kind of cute, but that's really the only good thing about the episode. Next, we have Season 4, Episode 6, titled Nomads Droids. We had a little bit of a cameo of General Grievous. That's it. That's the only good thing about this episode. And a little bit of a battle at the beginning and the end of the episode, I believe. But it's just them going from planet to planet and meeting some cringy characters. Next we have Season 4, Episode 4, titled Shadow Warrior. This is actually a decent episode on Naboo with some Gungans. We got Anakin and Padme, and some sort, like a little bit of conspiracy with the leader of the Gungan tribe. But Grievous getting defeated by Gungans, really. Next, we have Season 4, Episode 2, titled Gungan Attack, Season 4, Episode 1, titled Water War, and Season 4, Episode 3, titled Prisoners. I'm ranking all three of these together, since they all sort of blend together. It's an interesting arc, but it's also very boring at the same time. I just call it the Mon Cala arc is what I call it. It had an interesting conflict. It's a civil war between the Mon Cala and the Mon Calamarians and the Quarrens. We had Riff Tamsin. It was cool to see people battling underwater. Kit Fisto was there. Anakin and Padme and all the Gungans were there and stuff like that. Riff Tamsin was kind of a cool character design. But overall, I just don't really think it's that special. Doesn't have any good character moments. The action's only decent, and yeah, it's just pretty boring, and the story isn't great. Next we have Season 4, Episode 11, titled Kidnapped. This is the start of the slave arc is what I call it. The most interesting part about this is seeing Anakin's reaction to slavery and just the anger he has about it. That's really it. Next we have Season 4, Episode 19, titled Massacre. General Grievous goes to Dathomir and massacres all the Night Sisters. Really good action. But the problem with this episode is it really, like, the tone of it and the pace of it really feels like an early, maybe Season 1, Season 2 episode, and that's what I really don't like about the episode. Next, we have Season 4, Episode 14, titled A Friend in Need. This is where the episodes start getting good. We have Ahsoka and Lux and the Death Watch, and I can't remember what planet they're on, but Ahsoka has some really cool action sequences, and Pre Vizsla and the Death Watch are just awesome as always, and this is also the introduction of Bo-Katan, so that's cool. Next we have Season 4, Episode 12, titled Slaves of the Republic. We got a little bit of Count Dooku in this episode, and I believe it's this episode, and Anakin also works for the Queen. He's going undercover, and again we get to see his reaction to slavery, which is cool. Next we have Season 4, Episode 20, titled Bounty. We got young Boba Fett, we got Bossk, Dengar, we got Highsinger. I can't remember the other person's name, the lady, but then we also have Asajj Ventress in a really action-packed and really cool episode. Just a cool heist storyline that was executed pretty well. Next, we have Season 4, Episode 13, titled Escape from Kadavo. We get to see Obi-Wan and Captain Rex enslaved, and I just think that's a really cool character episode for Obi-Wan. Just watching him and how he reacts to being enslaved and stuff like that. Next we have Season 4, Episode 15, titled Deception, a really interesting arc. Obi-Wan goes undercover as Rako Hardeen, a very cool concept, and this is just the start to a very awesome arc. And then let's wait until this is done. Then we got Season 4, Episode 16. Right after that, we got Friends and Enemies. The reason I like this episode is because it's cool to see Anakin and Ahsoka, who are unaware that Rako is actually Obi-Wan. We get to see them face off. They do not know that this is Obi-Wan, and that is that's awesome to me. I think that's a really cool concept that they messed around with. Next, we have Season 4, Episode 21, titled Brothers, The Return of Darth Maul with his cyborg legs and more Savage, and just a really awesome introduction to Darth Maul, seeing how broken he is after, I believe it's 18 years of just being just tortured, basically. Then we have Season 4, Episode 18, titled Crisis on Naboo. We got Anakin versus Count Dooku as the Chancellor watches, which is awesome. We have the bounty hunters disguising themselves and trying to kidnap the Chancellors, which is awesome. Just a cool, action-packed end to the arc. Next, we have Season 4, Episode 8, titled The General. This is part of the Bara arc. This is when they are trying to get to the airfield, I believe, and all the clones are just dying, and Krell just does not care. Just a really good war-inspired episode. Season 4, Episode 22 is next. The season finale titled Revenge. Full-on Darth Maul. He's got his cyborg legs. He wants revenge on Obi-Wan. We have Savage and Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan and Ventress. Awesome episode. That's all I really have to say. Is just a really good end to the season. Season 4, Episode 17, titled The Box, a really fun episode. We got all these bounty hunters going through these trials, and Cad Bane and Reiko develop a little bit of a friendship. Cad Bane saves his life a little bit. Just the highlight of this arc for me, for a lot of people. Season 4, Episode 9, titled Plan of Descent. Hardcase, Jesse, and Fives, they decide to go against Krell's orders, and Hardcase sacrifices his life to do what he thinks is right. Just an awesome episode, and shows the independence the clones actually have. Season 4, Episode 7, titled Darkness on Umbara. The first Umbara episode, it's so action-packed. It's like a Vietnam episode. We get introduced to General Krell, who's he hates clones, and it's just a really interesting arc and a really awesome start to it. Season 4, Episode 10, the best episode of the season, titled Carnage of Krell. The clones learn that Krell pitted the 212th and 501st against each other, which is an awesome and a tragic scene. And then they hunt him, he kills some clones, Dogma turns against him, kills him, and yeah, awesome episode. So that's my ranking of the Season 4 episodes. Definitely a great season of the Clone Wars. Stay tuned, I'll be doing Season 5 and Season 6 soon. I almost finished Season 5. I only have the Ahsoka arc left to watch, so that'll be up maybe tomorrow if I finish. But yeah, see ya.